Hello, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Faulkner. Let's take a look at our application problem. If you have not completed it, please hit pause and then come back and hit play when you finished. It says a scientist fills 5 test tubes with 9 milliliters of fresh water in each. She fills another 3 test tubes with 9 milliliters of salt water in each. Our question is, how many milliliters of water does she use in all? They want us to use the break apart and distributive strategy to solve. I went ahead and drew a tape diagram here. So we know that the first 5 test tubes has 9 milliliters of fresh water. So I'm going to draw this out. That's 3 test tubes. There's 4 test tubes and there's 5 test tubes. Okay. Now we're going to look at the second part of our story problem. Says she fills another 3 test tubes with 9 milliliters of salt water. And our question wants to know how many milliliters of water does she use in all? Well, we can see here that we have 3 nines. So that is like saying 3 times 9. Down here, we see that we have 5 nines or 5 times 9. Now, we would know that if we put these two things together, that would equal our whole strip. Well, how many test tubes do we have altogether? That's exactly right. We have 8 altogether. So we technically have 8 times 9, or 8 groups of 9. And we're trying to figure out what is that. Well, we haven't learned our 8s and 9s yet, but we have learned our 5s and 3s. So we can break that 8 down into 5 plus 3. Okay, so basically 5 plus 3 times 9 is the same thing as 8 times 9, because you all just told me that this is 8 total times 9. Okay, so then we have 5 times 9, which we should already know that fact, plus 3 times 9, we should already know that fact, and we're going to put them together. Okay, 5 times 9 is 45, plus 3 times 9, which is 27, and we add those things together, 8 times 9 is 72 milliliters. So we have our drawing, we have our writing, we read our problem, and now we're going to put it into a sentence. How many milliliters of water does she have in all? She has 72 milliliters of water in all. That's what you should have for your application problem. Today we are going to use the 9 equals 10 minus 1 strategy to help us solve facts for 9. Let's look at our first one. We have the fact 9 times 9. So I have a tape diagram here that has 10 slots in it. And we are going to pretend that each one of these boxes stand for 9 because we're taking 9 times 9. So how the 9 equals 10 minus 1 strategy is like this. If I have 9 times 9, I'm looking at 9 boxes, okay? So 9 boxes, but when I look at the whole group of 10, I can say that I have 10 nines altogether. And over here, I have 1 box left over, so I'm going to take off 1 9. And that should tell me what 9 times 9 is, okay? So let's pretend that all these are shaded. We're going to look at our shaded boxes. So how much is 10 times 9? That's right, it is 90. So what is 1 9? That's right, it is 9. So now we're going to say, what is 90 minus 9? Absolutely, it is 81. So 9 times 9 is 81. That's a way to use the 9 equals 10 minus 1 strategy. If you have not grabbed your template out of your workbook, please go ahead and tear that page out and you can slide it into your marker board page and use your own template. So if you need to hit pause to tear that out and slide it into your marker board, please go ahead and do that now. We're going to use this strategy of 9 equals 10 minus 1 again. This time we're going to look at 9 times 8. So we're going to make each box here worth 8. All right? So we'll pretend in our tape diagram that each one of these equals 8. And we're going to look at 9 times 8, which is all of these boxes right here. Okay? 9 times 8. So if I looked at the entire tape diagram, that's like saying 10 eighths minus 1 eighth. Okay, so how much is 10 eighths? That's right, it is 80. How much is 1 eighth? Absolutely, that is 8. So now you're looking at 80 minus 8, which is 72. That's exactly right. It is 72. So 9 times 8 equals 72. All right, we're going to use the 9 equals 10 minus 1 strategy again. This time we have 9 times 7. We still have our template, the tens frame. So this time we're going to make each of our boxes worth 7. Okay, so 9 times 7 would be all of these shaded boxes right here. All right, that's 9 times 7. But my whole strip is actually 10 sevens. So we can say 10 sevens minus 1 7. So 10 sevens, 10 times 7 is 70, minus 1 7, which is 7. So 70 minus 7 is 63. That's exactly right. So 9 times 7 is 63. All right, let's use this strategy again, except this time we're going to use 9 times 6. So that means that in each one of our boxes, the value of that box is going to be 6. I'm going to shade in 9 sixes, but my total is going to be 10 sixes. So I have 10 sixes minus 1 6. So that is 60 minus 6, which is 54. So 9 times 6 is 54.